One of the most important parts of Hilchos Chanuka is the brisker Rav Shtikl Torah on Hilchos Chanuka. So I'll just spend 2 minutes without the Rav Shtikl Torah just telling you the case.
They should have known he was Moyal, you're saying.
What was the What was he showing them? Herulahem Shehumo.
Yes,
what's the raya?
Right.
What's the raya? Hey, a million people in Mitzrayim got Mila. So what's the raya? I want to say it like this. The Gemara says in Masech Shabbos, a Perek Rebbe Lezer the Mila, that there are 2 parts of the Mila. There is the Mila, cutting it off, and then there are shards of the Mila, which are called tzitzim. There's a certain amount that you must take off. If you don't take it off, the Mila is not effective. Then there's certain Milas which are called tzitzim she'enam ma'akvin es ha-Mila. You don't have to take them off, but there's a hidden mitzvah to take it off. Mishum zeh kelev ameyu. It's a Mila min hidden mitzvah to do even that. Zok the Gemara, if you make a Mila, come hit a mitzvah, you should try to take off the extra. If you stop Posak, then you don't do it. Posak, you don't do. Those are the words of the Gemara. Rashi, the Torah, the Beis Yosef, everyone learns it's talking about on Shabbos. Shabbos, Mila is Derech Shabbos. Hidden mitzvah is not Derech Shabbos. If you do hidden mitzvah in conjunction with the mitzvah, then it's Derech Shabbos. If you do hidden mitzvah not in conjunction, you stop, then hidden mitzvah is not Derech mitzvah. The Rambam looked at that Gemara, and the Rambam said, no. The Gemara doesn't say anything about Shabbos. The Gemara says Posak. The Rambam was always a literalist. He saw things as it says. And the Gemara says, Im ye Posak. The Rambam says, Afil b'choil. Even in b'choil, you don't go back and do it. Frag the Shagas Harya, the Beis Halevi. Why is that true? And if you don't go back, why don't you? In the week, what's wrong with going back? Zok the Briskerov b'shem the Beis Halevi. That the pshat is meirudik. And this goes with the famous saying, Hider mitzvah does not have its own life. And in Brisk, they say this over with a great case. You take an esrig, and you took a kosher esrig that wasn't muhuder, and you were yotze the mitzvah. Afterwards, you get a muhuder dikar esrig. Reb Chaim said there's no reason to take the muhuder dikar esrig after. You know why there's no way you need to take the muhuder dikar esrig after? You can't do hidden mitzvah. You already did the mitzvah. Hidden mitzvah has to be done in unison with a mitzvah. If it's not in unison with a mitzvah, you can't do it. Zok to Beis Halevi. Once you finish Mila, even during the week, if you stopped, you can't go back and do it. Why can't you go back and do it? Because it's over. You can't do hidden mitzvah without a mitzvah. So if you can't do hidden mitzvah without a mitzvah, so Mamela, there's no such din. So he says that's the pshat in the Rambam. Atkan the Beis Halevi. But the Beis Halevi's vart is so strong. What's the pshat in Rashi in the Torah? I mean, Rashi and the Torah are going to hold you could do a hidden mitzvah after you do a mitzvah. There's not. The teretz is they held tzitzim she'enam hakvanas amila is not a hidder in the ma'isa mitzvah. When a person has a mila, he becomes a mohol. He becomes a mohol, and you're a mohol forever. Every single second, you're a mohol. So it's different than taking an esrig. By an esrig, when do you take the esrig? You take it. That's it. It's over. By a mila, it's a lifelong mila. The shem mohol keeps trucking. And therefore, if it keeps going, so you have Mila even later. That's why Rashi and the Torah hold that you can go back afterwards and attach. Usually, you can't. So where could you attach it? Because Tzitzim She'enam Hakvanas HaMila is not a hidder in the Maisa Mila. It's a hidder in the Shem Mohol. I want to say like this. According to Rashi and the Torah, it's only a hidder in the Shem Mohol. It's not a hidder in the Maisa Mila. It's only in the Shem Mohol. If you're going to do Lu Yitzuyar a Mila and not become a Mohol, then there would be no makam to do Tzitzim She'enam Hakvanas HaMila. Tzitzim She'enam Hakvanas HaMila is only a hidder in the Shem Mohol. If theoretically speaking there would be a way to do a Mila without the Shem Mohol, then you would not do Tzitzim She'enam Hakvanas HaMila, even at the time of the Mila. Because the whole thing is in the Shem Mohol. When Yosef told the people in Mitzrayim to do Mila, it would be a travesty if he would tell them to do tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila. Because no one in the right mind, when he told the Mitzrayim to do a milah, became a mohul. They weren't becoming mohulim. He was going through the mechanics. Make a ma'aseh milah. So everyone had to make a ma'aseh milah. If that would be true, so then what would be the pshat? There would be no tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila. Yosef wanted to show them. Of course, they all knew everyone had a milah. Heru lohem. What did he show them? Not that he had a milah. Shehu mohul. That he's a mohul. Once he showed them he's a mohul, whatever the chassidus is from, he showed them nice bris kodesh, whatever it is.
What is the regular person that has a bris and doesn't do that? Regular person, a regular baby, that not tzitzim makbid, so he's not mohul.
No, he's a mohul. But if you do have tzitzim she'ein makbid is hamila, that's a raya that you're a mohul. Yosef was showing them, you look at me, I'm a mohul. I have the same shemila. So b'meila, that's what herulem shehu mohul. That's what he was showing them. So I just wanted to say, just if you hold cheshbon for 1 minute, it's unbelievable. The Gemara in Masechtas Yavamis says, when you make a milah on a ger, the Gemara says, tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila, in Pasach, you don't do the tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila. So the Beis Halevi, when do you do a ger's milah? Only during the week. There's no ger's meal on Shabbos. A beferish Gemara, like the Rambam. The Gemara says on a weekday milah by ger, because it says it by a ger, and it says in Pasach you don't do it. What does the Torah and Rashi do with that Gemara? It's a beferish Gemara. Teretz is beautiful. A ger has a milah. Is he Jewish after the milah? No, he still has to have a tefillah. A ger doesn't become a mohol till 3 days later when he has a tefillah. A ger doesn't have the tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila then. His tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila only up for later. So if he does it b'shas ma'aseh, good. If he doesn't do it b'shas ma'aseh, it's no good. And therefore there would be no such halacha, and that would be the din of the tzitzim she'ein makbanis hamila. That's the. So maybe it's Bechlal. Yosef is trying to show them, doesn't make a difference where you are, what you are. I'm a Shem Mohol. Nothing changed. I'm still in the club. I'm still in that Mila club. And that's why it would be a din. We know, what did Yosef send back? Now another shtickle. What did Yosef send back to his father? He sent back Agolis. So Rashi tells us, why did he send him back Agolis? So Rashi, what are Agolis?
Chariots.
Are chariots.
Horse and carts.
Or wagons. And,
Wagons, like next to Central Park.
Yeah. Like
Next
wagons.
to Central Park.
So he sent them back wagons. Like Rashi, why did he send them wagons? Because the last sugi he learned with him was Egla Rufa. What does Egla mean? Egla Rufa? It means a cow. So Yosef was really playing with words. He was being, what do they call it, an etymologist, when you play with words. So he says, oh, I'm sending him Agolis, which is the word of chariots, and he's going to figure out the last sugya we learned was Egla Rufa, and Egla Rufa was what we learned. But Egla Rufa has a connection, because Yaakov Avinu must have felt a big guilt. He sent Yosef by himself, without Lavoya, without protection, and then he got killed, but that's what it was. If you look up the Medrash, where Rashi's sourcing, the Medrash says Egla Rufa was the sugya. On the side of the Medrash says, he was learning the sugya of Agolos Shebe Mishkan. And on the side of the Medrash even says where it is. Masechta Shabbos Daf Tzadik Vav. And that's Agolos Shebe Mishkan. What are Agolos Shebe Mishkan? They used to carry the Krushim from place to place. The Mishkan from place to place. Then they would get to the Mishkan and they would park the Agolos. And I'll tell you in a second what the Sugya HaGemara is. The Gemara has a whole Sugya about the Agolos Shebe Mishkan. That Medrash must have been bothered. That Medrash must have been bothered by this kasha. I'd rather use the word agola, which means wagons, and is much more much closer connected to the agolis of agolis that he said, not Egla Rufa. If the last sugi he was learning was agolis of a mishkan, so if he's sending back wagons, that has a very straight line of connection. But what would be the line of connection of this of this thing? But then it's back shveva. I mean, there has to be some remezdik thing that the last thing they were learning has some shaykhs that Yosef was sending him back. What would be the connection? Bishlei Egla Rufa. Yosef was sending back. Don't be scared that there was a problem of Egla Rufa. You see, Kilamichi Shlachani. Or if it would be Agola Shiva Mishkan, what does it have to do with Yosef? So I wanted to say like this. You know, when they made the Erev in Borough Park, so one of the things was that the whole Brooklyn is a Rishus Rabim D'Oraisa, because it's open. All the streets are open, one to the other, with 600,000 people. One of the Heterim that Menashe Klein came up with, he said there's such a din as a Rishus Rabim Mekura. And what is a Rishus Rabim Mekura? A Rishus Rabim Mekura, underneath, that means if it's a roofed Rishus Rabim, underneath it, even if it's open to go through, if it's roofed, it's not a Rishus Rabim. If you have the Astrodome, you have an Astrodome, it's a Rishus HaYochid. You could fit in, you could make a stadium with 600,000 people. That's not the Astrodome, but let's say you can do it. So the pshat is, so he said,
30,000.
So he said, the McDonald Avenue and Utrecht Avenue, where you have the trains, so the trains run on top, so that cuts off the two parts. So Borough Park was cut off by New Utrecht and McDonald. So he held that cuts it off, even though you can be it was one of the machlokes and one of the things he spoke about. Where's the Makoyer of Rishus
How
Rabim?
does that make that Makura?
Because it's on top. There's the train.
The little section. That's Makura.
Here's long that block, not the whole Rishus Rabim. It breaks off the 300. It breaks you off from the rest of the Rishus Rabim. If it's a Rishus Rabim Makura, that means here's a Rishus HaYochid.
What, the 600,000 is Mitzvah?
So it's not Mitzaref. He wanted to have.
Up to 600,000.
Not 600,000. Not Mitzaref. That was one of his things. So where's the Makor for Rishus Rabim Makor? The Gemara says the shear of Rishus Rabim is Tezayin Amma. The Gemara makes a Gewaltige Cheshbon. Where do you have Tezayin Amma? Because there was parking issues even at the time of the Midbar. They used to have to park on the side of the road, these argolis that they used to always carry them, and they would park them. And since they would park them, so then underneath, Zog the Gemara, even though it's Rishus Rabim, that part doesn't count. Why doesn't that part count? Because it's Mukura. The Gemara even goes through, and you can look in the Art Scroll Gemara, they have a whole bunch of different machlokes in the Gemara, exactly how the board's laid, and then you could figure out what the shear of Mukuriness is. But the wagon, the bottom of the wagon, was like the roof above, that didn't. The Gemara says, so that gets subtracted from the Rishus Rabim, and that's how the Gemara comes up with the Zion. On that Gemara, the Sfas Emes brings a Yerushalmi, and he brings it B'Shem Rav Bun, and Yerushalmi is a Mandam or Ramon. And Amun asked, how could you say that's Rishus Rabim Makura? That's Makura. There's wheels on it. If there's wheels on it, they were made to move. So you're going to tell me a movable thing that's made to move, that's Makura? Underneath the car is Makura. The car can't move. The car could move. It's made to move. It's not Makura. It's here now. Tomorrow it's not here. So Mamela, that shouldn't be Rishus Rabim Makura. That's not Makura. As I fragt Rabun. Eved Rabun, Al Pi Hashem Yachanu, Al Pi Hashem Yisrael. What does he mean to say? That doesn't mean just you have to listen. By the Mishkan, when they were there, because there was a din Al Pi Hashem Yachanu. Un Memela till this Yisou, when Hashem said to go, that was a whole new Metzius, and in that Metzius had to be Al Pi Hashem Yisou. So he's being machadish al pi Hashem yachn, al pi Hashem yisou, as that din. So the Sasemis wants to say, he wants to learn it as an achshavei. Since it's a din, but Kenzain, it's different than that. Not only it's a din achshavei al pi Hashem yachn, it has a din mishkan. There's such a place in the world which is called al pi Hashem yachn, al pi Hashem yisou. Even no matter where you go, this thing is makura. Sometimes it's Makura here, sometimes Makura here. When there's a place called Al Pi Hashem Yachnu, Al Pi Hashem Yisou. The Eivishter, when you go according to the Eivishter, that's where you are. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm there, but I'm always in the place of Al Pi Hashem Yachnu, Al Pi Hashem Yisou. And that comes out. That's according to the Yerushalmi. That's the Lomdus of the Sugya of Agola Sheba Mishkan. The Emes Agola Sheba Mishkan should be cars. The Teretz is Dalton State. Even if it's movable, it's Al Pi Hashem Yachnu, Al Pi Hashem Yisou. Imkain, it's very moving. What was Yosef telling his father? He was scared. Yosef, his father's going to think Yosef is a melech of Mitzrayim. He's saying, Ani Yosef. The Gemara states, Ani Yosef was by my father. Ani Yosef was in the Baer. Ani Yosef Sheberetz Mitzrayim. Ani Yosef was now the Skan Melech. Al Pi Hashem Yachanu. Al Pi Hashem Yisrael. So if it's Al Pi Hashem Yachanu, Al Pi Hashem Yisrael, and that's like Ola Sheba Mishkan, that's the message he was giving back his father. So somebody told me that, I think tonight, this is Chaim Shmulevitz's Yahrzeit, I'm not sure. Tonight, it was today. So Chaim Shmulevitz, they said when someone was they were on the boat coming from Shanghai to America, everyone was very agitated. They didn't know, and they were scared. People were still war refugees, so they were scared. Which waters are we in? Are we in the American part of the ocean or not? So someone came over to Chaim Shmulevitz, and he asked them, "Vu Haltman, where are we up to?" So Chaim Shmulevitz looked up and he answered, Shmaitze Daled. What he meant to try to bring out to the person, it doesn't make a difference if we're in Mir, if we're in Vilna, if we're in Shanghai, or in San Francisco, or in New York. There's a world which is called Shmaitze Daled. That's our world. Now the question is, where exactly we're gonna set up that world. So we're gonna make our world. There's a sefer, Shev Shmaitz. It's a Lomdus Shiur that the Ktsois wrote when he was young. So there's 7. Shev Shmaitz is 7 parts, and each part has Perokim. So he said he's in Shmaitz Adalit. So Shmaitz Adalit is the word. That's what Yosef was saying. Ani Yosef. So he said, Al Pi Hashem Yachnu, Al Pi Hashem Yisou, and that's what Yosef was telling to his father. So that works out with what he was saying.
That's why I ended up over here. That's why.
Right, that's the Kilamich Yishlochani,
Yes,
and that's right. That's a Britz Mamish Al Pi Hashem Yachnu, because it was that's Al Pi Hashem Yachnu. I'm supposed to be here. Since I'm supposed to be here,
I'm supposed to travel here.
I'm supposed to be here, and that's why there is that din. Yeah. Let's say now another order. Oh, maybe that's Tom when he brought him back. He wanted to show.
It wasn't short of wagons. Those ran the thing from the roof.
Yeah. So just said. Just saw Moiridik. When Yosef said the Medrash, Moiridik Medrash, I just saw it now this morning for the first time. It says when let's say it afterwards, when Yaakov Avinu, we'll come back to that. When Yaakov Avinu came down to Mitzrayim, he was going to come down to Mitzrayim. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, was Megalut, and it says, Pasuk Perek Memvav, Pasuk Aleph, Vayizbach Zvochim Lelekei Ovev Yitzchok. So he brought a korban Lelekei Ovev Yitzchok, and therefore he can't. And therefore, so Rashi's hooked of Lelekei Ovev Yitzchok. So Rashi in Pasuk Aleph. So Rashi Kev Yitzchak Chai Vodem B'Chvayid Oviv Yosem Mi B'Chvayid Ziknai Lefikach Tola B'Yitzchak V'Loi B'Avram. He only said he's going to bring it to Yitzchak, and he's not going to bring so. The Emes state in Rashi, Pashtus in Rashi, that is covered only for Oviv Yosem Mi B'Chvayid Ziknai. So the Ramah in Shulchan Aruch is mistapik in them. Is there covered Ziknai or is there not covered Ziknai?
Right, it's just a
Over
little
here,
more.
Yoser. So here it says Yoser. But Lamais, it looks like in Aruch, it's not clear if on Kavod Ziknai there is or Kavod Ziknai is not.
Ask the Rabbi no?
Yeah. What's this? What's this thing? So the Welt fragt that Kasha. Just say it over now. I have to remind myself it over. The Gemara says in Masechta Makis. The Gemara has a case. The Gemara says the case of the Gemara is a shayla on a goyel hadam. So we know the goyel adam has a din to kill the person who killed his relative b'shoigig. The Gemara declares a shayla: could a person be a goyel hadam al oviv? That means the Gemara declares he can't. Could he be al oviv? So the Gemara says
His father killed his brother, whatever.
a father killed his brother. Could he be on Aviv? So the Gemara says, could he not? Then the Gemara clears a shaila, what would be on Avi Aviv? That means, could he be Avi Aviv? So Rashi, because the reason the Gemara is clearing is because Ein Adam Mechuyev B'Kvoid Avi Aviv. So since he's not Mechuyev B'Kvoid Avi Aviv, so therefore he could become a Goyal Adam, and that's the shaila of the Gemara. Schwere Gemara. Frag the Welt, I think Rabbi Kvega might even ask the car. I don't know if it's Rabbi Kvega, but in that league, Frag the Welt has Astir and Rashi. Those are Rashi and Chumash, Chayev Adam B'Kvoid Aviv Yosem B'Kvoid Ziknai. Steht beferish, also da Kvoid Ziknai. Not like there are Amos, Tzad not. Rashi steht this beferish. And the Gemara, Rashi learns of the Gemara that there's no din of Kvoid Ziknai.
Maybe that Gemara.
So, maybe it's not Gemara. So the Rogachev in Safnas Paneich, Hilchas Matnas Aniyim, the Rogachev Bechlal tells us, he asks it almost for a kasha on the Gemara. He wants to say it's a psychological kind of art. He says being a father to a son or to a daughter is not static. It's not genetics. And there's a chelik of being a father, which is you're fathering your child. If you do something which is anti the fatherness, in a certain zin, you lose your teres aviv. Zokte Rogachev, the marshal.
Killing
He says the marshal
Killing him.
killed your own son. If you kill your own son, it's like what they say. You killed his father, and he wants to collect the orphan. The orphan social security. Based on he wants mercy. The Alta Yiddish joke. So now Zokter Rogachev. So if he killed his father, if he killed his son, so then really his son this is not his father anymore. His father who killed him, that's not his father.
That doesn't help the other brother.
That doesn't help for the other brother. That's why the Gemara doesn't clear that. The Gemara says a brother can't become a Goyal Adam on his father. Zokter Rogachev, I think this is going to be Pshat. What's going to be, I'm going to learn up Pshat. What's the Pshat? Chakira. Why does a grandson have to give covet to his grandfather? Because there's such a thing as giving covet to a grandfather? Or you have to give covet to your father's father? And your father's father needs covet. There'll be a big nafkamina. If somehow your father's father was not a father of your father anymore. If Louis Sawyer,
Very simple. If your father was Nifter.
not if he's nifter. If nifter, that's not that. That the Rogachev doesn't say if there's nifter, there wouldn't be a din.
Your father's Nifter, your grandfather. It's the Nafkamina.
No, I want to say if your father was nifter, he's still your father's father.
Yeah, but you'd be never good.
I think you would still be mechuyev. But if a father, if the grandfather, if the father killed, so then his son, so then therefore he's not anymore mechuyev in giving covet because the grandfather was now not the father of his father. Because the Rogachev says you could lose your Shem
Shem father. He didn't lose his Shem father. He was nifted.
Not the father. No. So what was the case in the Gemara? The case in the Gemara is the zikna. Could you become if a grandfather killed his father?
Oh, that's the case.
That's the case. So now we're saying he lost his connection. If he lost his connection, so that's what Rashi means. Of course, there's a cover to give zikna out to your father's father. Rashi Masechta Machil says, "Ein mitzvahs kvoid ziknai." There's no individual kvoid ziknai. So since there's no individual kvoid ziknai, that's why there's no such halacha. There wouldn't be a steer. So I'm saying this Rogachev, besides the Lomdus and that thing, is nothing stays static. You have to keep things fresh. You have to put yourself into it. So I thought that goes back now to what the Psukim say before. Ani Yosef. Ha'oid avichai. Fragt the Welt. Ani Yosef ha'oid avichai. They're talking the whole time about his father. His father said this, his father said that. He said this, he said that. Yosef hat gewollt wissen. Ani Yosef. Ha'oid avichai. Es ist noch a lebedike Taten. is there still place in his heart about me that they didn't tell him? That he was misabel and he was sitting on him. He wanted to
Still my
know.
Avi.
No, the Avi Chai. The organic Avi. The organic Avi.
Is he still my Avi? That's
Is he still my Avi? The Avi Chai. He didn't know that. So that's what he was asking. And the Yosef, Avi Chai, that's what he was asking. If there is that, then, yeah. They said one time I saw in Pesach Grohn's book, in one of his books, he brings, there was a Rebbe, there was one boy in the class who almost never used to talk up. And then one time the Rebbe was explaining this parasha. And then there was a boy in the class that his father had run away, he didn't know who his father was. And he knew his father, but his father never kept contact with him. And then the Rebbe said over this whole parasha. And then he described it so vividly. And then at the end he asked, Ani Yosef Avichai. And then he asked the question, what do you mean? They were all talking about it. So this little kid raised his hand and he said, Ani Yosef Avichai, is he still my father? The Rebbe Mamish felt shy. A person lev yidei and maris nafshay. This boy was missing that connection with his father, and he was missing it. So he was the one who pointed out. This boy said, "Nein, that's the pshat in the pasuk. Hoy Ravi Chai." That's mamish. This pshat from the Rogachover of what would be the pshat in the. So I saw the Medrash says in this week's parsha. We'll just finish with that. Then I'll say one other short word. The Medrash says in this week's parsha, unbelievable. Yosef was Megala to his brothers. And then, what's the pasuk there? Vayagidu lo'ilema, vayoyim Yosef ani Yosef v'odav v'chai, v'lo yochlu ochiv lanes oisoi ki nivalu mipanav. Vayoyim Yosef kshuna vayigoshu, ani Yosef chivchat ha'moisem Mitzrayim, ki lemichish lochani alecha. Zok the Medrash, unbelievable Medrash Rabbah, right here. Medrash Rabbah says, Parcha nishmosam. They died. And Yosef said, Ki lemichyesh lachani alech. He breathed life back into them. And that's what they came. So the Medrash, there's already all the mafalpulim already busy. Asigvan hamesim, and ahin aher. You can say a lot of different pshatim. I was thinking the pshat is, life is meaning. That's today. There's the whole thing about this psychology of Viktor Frankl's psychology. Life is a life of meaning. Any situation you're in, you find meaning. Suddenly, when they heard that this is Yosef, all the things that they did bad, it almost completely contradicted their whole life. Ki nivalu mipanov. It was as if their life had no meaning. It was as if like that was nivalu mipanov. The Medrash says to give him misa. And Yosef was machayim, and he said, "No, there's still a whole new phase. Ki lemichyesh lachani, and now we're all part of it. It's all part of it." That's what Yosef was telling him. A person has to find in the things. I just was thinking. I saw it in a Chassidish Sefer. It was the Edom for a Mendel worker. He says, "Al tergezu ba'dorach." When he told him to go back, he told him, "Oh, yisasku b'dvar halacha." The Gemara says, "Pesach Tainus." I said this morning a whole pilpul on it, but this is "Al yisasku b'pshuta shel mikra." Al yisasku b'dvar halacha. That's what the message he's telling them. I mean, say it in a nicer way. I mean, telling your brothers, the Shvatim, not to talk and learning is. So last night I was at a Sheva Brachas. I said he was telling them, he was telling them, Al Yisaska b'dvar. If it's not Tirlich, some people making there was once a person in Volozhin, I said this over, that they came that time when they were doing the arts accreditation in Volozhin, so they called in a Bocher, when the Russian government came. They called in a Bocher, they asked him, what's your Seder Hayem? So he said the Seder Hayem. He said, I sleep for 6 hours, and throughout the day, an hour and a half I eat. So the Russian person who was doing the investigation said, that's what you do all day? He said, yeah, that's what I do. What's my Seder? I sleep 6 hours, and I eat a half-hour breakfast, a half-hour lunch, and that's... So the mashgiach was there. He said, that's what you do? He said, you don't learn? He said, that's not what I do. That's what I live. You ask me what's my Seder, what I have to do. So now I have to sleep, I have to eat. Now you ask me if I breathe. You ask me if I walked. That's not a Seder. That's what when there's nothing else, that's what I'm doing. There's no al tirguzu, that's one shot. Al tirguzu, al yisasku b'dvar halacha. The lips to learning. If you're in a car and you're talking and learning, because that's what you always do, then it's okay. If you're making a whole big tumble from it, that's not good. But I saw in the Chassidish Sefer, he says different shot. Where did the Avos know the Torah from? The Avos knew the Torah from the Bria. When they saw a baguette or they saw wool, they were margish tzitzis. When they saw leather or something, they were margish tefillin, because they were in touch. They had their fingers on the pulse to hear exactly stakel bayraisu, bara alma. That's how they used to live. So they never sat down to learn Gemara. In the Welt haben sie magisch gewähnt the Torah. Sie haben magisch gewähnt the Torah. Steht in alles Svarim. That was what the Shvatim used to always do. Then they sold Yosef, and they thought they were right. After years and years of pain of their father, they saw that they made a mistake in their cheshbon. It must have been a mistake. So then they decided, we can't see anymore from the Welt. The Welt, I don't see anymore from the Welt, because obviously we thought in the Welt, it came out Yosef should be sold, and it was wrong. So you know what they did? They went back to Gemara with Tosfos, and they said, we're not going to learn up from the Welt anymore. We're not like the Avos. We're going to sit down and stay focused on halacha. On halacha. Exactly halacha. Nicht the colorful way of Lomdus, of seeing the Welt. We're going to stay very strictly and see clearly halacha. Now they came back and they saw Yosef. And Yosef was trying to convince them, this was all part of the plan. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. Hashem, atem chashavtem ra, v'leikim chashvu l'teva. It came out good. So what you were thinking, fakert, was so teeth that it was good. Just you say, al yisasku b'dvar haloche. You should go back now to the ways of looking out the window of the wagon and figuring out the Eibishter, seeing the Lomdus from the Eibishter in the Welt. You don't, halachas leave for other people. You're into the Lomdus from the Welt. Al yisasku b'dvar halacha. What happened was part of the grand plan of us the Eibishter had gewollt. So me learning like such a day, like what it was yesterday. Somebody told me that Shalom Bashkin said on Aleph Tevis, that's when Trump signed the